A lot of people, a lot of people want me to make videos, you know, every day, every 2 days, every 3 days. I try to get in at least two a week, but usually if I'm not feeling it, if I don't have the proper energy, you know, if my energy just isn't right, then I won't waste my energy. I won't make a video. You know why? Because I'm a very spiritual person. If my spirit guides me to do something, guides me to say something, I'll go ahead and say it. You see what I'm saying? I try to operate off of spirit, okay? Off of Kundalini energy, off of, you know, dark matter energy, the electromagnetic orgone energy coming from the universe. You know, I try to tap into that, and if I don't feel it within myself to put out a video, I usually don't do it. Now, you see, a lot of people want me to do it in a chronological order, but they don't understand when you fuck with chronology, okay, anything that's chronological, okay, chrono, you're dealing with Chronos, this goddamn bastard that has our material existence, you know, trapped in this realm, you see? So I don't deal with chronological. Anything chronological, you're dealing with Mr. Chronos and his son, okay? The two gods over your Bible. Now, the Spirit moved me today and basically wanted me to touch on this situation that's going on with the 400-year curse that has been lifted. Okay, the 400-year curse that's been lifted from the Atlanteans, okay, which are the Washitas, which are the Mers, okay, that were ruling in Europe. And when the Mers in Europe were overthrown in 1491, right after that, okay, is when servitude started, okay. And then in the late 1500s, that's when official slavery started. Okay, so when you look at 1619, this is the specific date where these Moors from Spain landed in Virginia. Okay, and they were not slaves that were, you know, living in mud huts. They were prisoners of war. They were kings, queens, politicians, okay, architects, engineers, musicians, artists, and they were prisoners of war that were held captive, okay, by the Caucasoid army in Europe, and they were put on 2 or 3 major ships. And they landed in Nova Scotia. They landed in northeastern America. They landed in southern America too. Okay, Georgia and Virginia. And they first landed in Virginia, okay, in 1619. And there were certain deities, okay. A lot of people referred to these Moors as the sellouts, and they supposedly gave the colonizers' government 400 years, okay, to rule over the Atlanteans, because the so-called black people of the Americas are the Atlanteans. So the Moors, the same Moors that sold the indigenous Mers out, okay, our ancestors, they gave the colonizer 400 years to do what they got to do. All right. Now, the last video I put out exposing the this Philadelphia shooting, false flag psyop, it got deleted. It got taken down by YouTube. They completely deleted it and took it down and said it had to do with harassment threats and cyberbullying. But I didn't threat a motherfucking person in that video. I didn't threat anybody. Who was I harassing? Who was I harassing and who was I threatening? You know what I'm saying? You know, all these other motherfuckers out here putting out the same material, but, you know, they're not getting flagged for their videos like I am. Very interesting. So like I was saying, according to history and prophecy, this 400-year tribulation is up. Okay? It's August 21st, right here. You see, you can read it right here. The first documented so-called Africans, which were really Moors, that's even in Christopher Columbus's own journals, in Virginia, arrived in 1619, okay, when a Dutch warship, bingo, warship, the original slaves that were brought here were prisoners of war, warship, landed here, okay, in Point Comfort, and it was not the number that is on the books. It wasn't no damn 20 million so-called African slaves. It was way less than that. There were hundreds of thousands of POWs, prisoners of war, which were, you know, the Moors who were ruling in Europe. They became prisoners of war after a rebellion, and they were put on about 3 to 7 different ships, and they were brought here to America. But those ships came from Europe. They came from Europe. They didn't come from Africa. Okay? So the warship is correct. The dates are correct. But you see, they threw the African in here as one of their mind fucks. You see? Because even in Christopher Columbus's journal, it says that they were Moors. Okay? You had corporate Moors and you had indigenous Moors. The indigenous Moors were already here occupying the land of America before Christopher Columbus and his colonizers came with him, you know, to colonize this land. All right? So you can read this for yourself, okay? It's all in the print. They put it right in front of our faces. 1619, right there. All right? So there is a Hebrew Israelite basically saying that the 400 years are up, and he's saying that this is tied to the Hebrew Israelite theology, and it's not tied to the Egyptian theology, okay? And what I would like to tell the brother that made this video is that he has it backwards, okay? Because that same Bible that he's reading out of was used as a tool by the colonizer to destroy all indigenous civilizations over the earth, okay? That King James Bible was used by the colonizer as a tool for destruction, okay, and the rape, the murder of millions of Atlanteans, okay, on this land and other melanated civilizations over the earth. King James sold out all indigenous melanated civilizations over the earth. Okay? Because if King James didn't want slavery to happen, he was ruling. He was the king of Great Britain during 1619. He didn't leave the throne until 1625. Go look it up. Go look it up. So if he wanted it to stop, if he never wanted slavery to happen, it would have never happened. He was ruling over the greatest, most powerful empire on the earth at that time, which was Great Britain. Okay? So this individual who made this does not know what the hell he's talking about. As a matter of fact, when we take it to the biblical scriptures here, right here, okay, it says that the time that the people of Israel lived in Egypt was 430 years. They're talking about the Habiru. They're talking about the Habiru. The Habiru were Caucasian slaves in Egypt. Okay? And they were enslaved in Egypt for 430 years. You're talking about the Habiru. Go research the Habiru. Okay? This right here is a depiction of the Habiru. They were the grafted beings that were used as slaves in ancient Egypt. And no, they didn't build no damn pyramids. The pyramids were built, okay, before most of the dynasties in Kemet even arrived in Kemet. Okay, the pyramids were already there. Okay? So, like I was saying, when you read this verse, this is talking about the Habiru. That's where you get the word Hebrew from, Habiru. Okay? The individuals who were grafted with calcified pineal glands. Okay, and they were told to only worship one God, which was the jealous God. I believe the jealous God actually created them. I don't believe Yaqub created them. I believe Zeus, aka Amun. I believe Amun, aka Amun-Ra. I believe that deity spliced the first Caucasians into existence. And the Caucasians didn't start getting active pineal glands until they started inbreeding with the melanated Egyptians. Okay? Very deep information here. Okay, if you don't believe me, there's been people with PhDs and bachelor's degrees and doctorates who've made books, who've made their own books off of this information, from Habiru to Hebrews. Okay? So the 430-year curse was for the Habirus that were in Egypt, which were the white slaves in Egypt. Okay? Now, when you talk about the so-called black people of the Americas and that 400-year curse, okay? When you're talking about that 400-year curse, you're talking about the children of Ham. You're talking about the children of Ham. Okay? Hebrew Israelites, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. King James altered verses in that Bible that gave the colonizer the litigation and obligation to enslave the darker people of the earth. Now let me explain. When you research who the Hamites were, okay, the Hebrew Israelites are going to tell you that they're just the African people. They're the African people who live off the land. That's what the Hebrew Israelite thinks the Hamite is. Oh, no. Hebrew Israelite, you have to research the etymology of Hamite, and you have to understand who created this word Hamite. Okay? Who created the word Hamite? The same motherfucker who revised the Bible 11 times in the same language. That's who created the fucking word Hamite. Okay? And this is your nail in the coffin right here. Some Arab slave traders used the account of Noah and Ham in the Bible to justify Negro slavery. Let me repeat that. Some Arab slave traders and the account of Noah and Ham in the Bible, okay, they used that to justify Negro slavery, and later European and American Christian traders and slave owners adopted a similar argument. So right here it's saying that the Arab slave traders and the European slave traders used the story of Ham to justify Negro slavery, which means when you research the story of Ham, they say that Ham was cursed by the God of the Bible, and the God of the Bible gave Ham dark skin. So initially, the God of the Bible, it puts out a story where he says that dark skin is a curse. And anybody who knows modern science, who knows simple biology, who studies ancient history, who knows anything about chemistry and alchemy, knows that the darker the skin pigmentation, the more eumelanin in the skin pigmentation, and the more adapted to nature your skin is, the darker it is. The higher the neuromelanin count in the blood, okay, the stronger the person's aura and the stronger the person's spirit. Okay? So when I say that fact, where the hell do we get this Ham getting cursed by the God of the Bible and his skin being turned dark? That's in the Bible, folks, and that was used by Arab slave traders and European slave traders, okay, to justify Negro slavery. They didn't use the fucking Israelite theology. They used the Hamite theology to enslave the darker people of the earth. Okay? Okay? That whole Israelite enslavement, okay? That whole Israelite enslavement, this right here, was the Hebiru. You see? This was the Hebiru. Okay? So when you talk about this, 1619 to 2019, that is Ham. They went off of Ham. You see? This right here is bullshit. This Genesis verse, because that is referring to what happened in the first Egypt. Okay? That's referring to what happened a few thousand years ago. Right now, okay, they have us under the curse of Ham. You see? Because originally in the Bible, it said that Ham was cursed with darker skin in one of these versions of the Bible. And if you don't believe it, just go research the Book of Mormon. The Book of Mormon, okay, adopted the Book of Ham from the original Bible that was written. Okay? The fucking Bible was revised 11 times in the same language. King James enforced the colonizers around him to use the story, the bullshit story of Ham, to justify Negro slavery. They didn't use the fucking Israelite story to justify Negro slavery. No! They used the bullshit fabricated story of Ham. So the 400 years of oppression in America is tied to the story of Ham. Okay? Not the fucking Israelites in the Bible. The Israelites in the Bible are Hebiru, the grafted race that was created as a slave race for Zeus, which is Amun. Okay, so Amun Ra, he created the first Caucasoids in Egypt. Okay, and he didn't give them active pineal glands because he didn't want them to be fully aware of any kind of spiritual potential. So he just wanted to harvest their energy so, they could worship him as the only God. Okay? So that's how you get your Zeus and your Hebiru, your Hebrew, and your creation of the Caucasoid race. That's how you get that story. Okay? So, after 400 years of this Ham curse, okay, we have woken up. You see, we Atlanteans, we Washitas, we Murs, we have woken up. So what has this beast government, this Zionist Khazar government, what has this beast government done to try to counteract our awakening after the 400-year curse? This is what they do. They set fire to the lungs of Terra. They set fire to the lungs of Terra. You see? The lungs of Gaia. They set fire to the Amazon rainforest, which is one of the largest neuron transmitters of the earth that we live on. Okay? The plants, the trees are gods, and they act as neuron transmitters for the earth that we live on. You see? They supply us with oxygen. You see? They live off of carbon. They don't need fucking oxygen. Oxygen is their waste. You see? They're vibrating on a whole different frequency off of carbon, chlorophyll, you see, and magnesium. You see? That's how these plants they live and they thrive off of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon, nitrogen. You see? And oxygen is their waste. You see? That makes them gods. And these trees live for hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of years, outliving us humans. You see? Because us humans have devolved from the state of the plants. You see? So what does the Zionists do at the 400-year anniversary, okay, for our awakening, for our spiritual awakening and spiritual freedom? They destroy the Amazon. You see, right now the Amazon rainforest is on fire, not only in Brazil but in Paraguay, Uruguay, Venezuela, Suriname, I think parts of Peru, Colombia, like 6 or 7 different countries in South America are literally on fire right now. And what's crazy is none of these countries' governments are attempting to put an end to this fire. You don't see any of their helicopters, dropping water or dropping, gases on this fire to put it out. I haven't seen one picture of any of these countries' governments trying to put this fire out. So I don't know if the leaders of these countries, if they secretly sold out to the Zionist elites or to the United States government. I don't know if they were offered money to not put these fires out. I have no clue what's going on. All I can say is, if you are listening to this message and you live in Brazil, you live in South America, do what you can. Okay? Do what you can to put these fires out. Do what you can to put these fires out by any means necessary. Okay? Okay? Because the Amazon is, the most important ecosystem on the land of this earth. Okay? As far as the natural herbs, the holistic herbs, we got ayahuasca down there, which is the most important herb on the earth, in my opinion. We got the Gaiabano superfruit that can, easily kill cancer cells. We got fruits and vegetables that put your body in an alkaline state. We got an abundance of the purest water on the earth, underground, under the surface of South America. Okay? We cannot have that ecosystem destroyed because the Zionist beast he's on full attack. He's on full attack mode, and we are the cells of Mother Gaia. We are the cells. So we have to take out the fucking virus. We have to take out the virus by any means necessary. Okay? This was done to the Califians in California. Their forests were burned down, and they were colonized, okay, and done away with for the most part. And they're doing the same thing to California for the past 3 years with those wildfires. You see, history is on repeat. You see, the Amazonians, okay, were Atlanteans. You see, and this was depicted in the Avatar movies. You see, the colonizers came in the movie Avatar. They came into their planet. They invaded their planet. You see, and they started to do away with with that planet's ecosystem. It's Avatar is just depicting what happened to the Atlanteans, what happened to the Washita, what happened to the Califians, what happened to the Inca. You see, they got colonized by the artificial soul, by the counterfeit spirits on this earth with calcified pineal glands. Okay? And they are the virus on this earth, and they have to be neutralized. They have to be neutralized. This is how they counteracted on August 21st. If I'm not mistaken, this is the anniversary of Nat Turner's rebellion. You see, the colonizer chooses specific dates to conduct his rituals. You see, because the colonizer understands how alchemy and voodoo works. They try to give alchemy and voodoo and sorcery a bad image because that's how we operated. To connect ourselves with nature, to connect ourselves with the cosmos. And in their movies, they tried to make it look evil. And they gave us bullshit religion. And in their bullshit religion, it said that we were cursed. And that's how the colonizer justified his 400 years of slavery and oppression under the fucking curse of Ham. Okay? So according to him, we are Ham, and he is the Israelite, because he's the Hebiru. He is the Hebiru, okay? And Father time is up, 400 years is up, Father time, Yaldabaoth, Kronos, Saturn, El, okay? The Grim Reaper. His society, their time is up. Okay? Okay, it's all about the serpent. Right now, we got to tap into the serpent, the Kundalini fire energy as much as possible. Okay? We got to tap into this energy as much as possible. I think they probably rigged my laptop because it won't let me click on my Instagram profile. So they probably rigged my laptop. It's the serpent. I was just gonna say it's the serpent. It's Lucifer. It's Enki. It's Prometheus. It's Osiris, Asar. Okay? The masculine aspect of Lucifer, the great serpent, Damballa, Ptah, Amma. Damballa, Ptah, and Amma are gods of the macroverse. Damballa, Ra, Ptah, and Amma are gods of the macroverse. Okay? And we have to start conducting these rituals, these Hika and these voodoo rituals. Okay? We need to be going out in nature, away from the beasts' energy grids. Go away from the beasts, the Zionist Warlocks energy grids on the outskirts of your cities. And you need to create these pentagrams and point the top of the pentagram near the Sirius star. Near the Sirius star. Okay? And we need to create these pentagrams either in candles that are lit or fire, or actual fire. And we need to point them at the Sirius star, okay? And I'm going to basically be giving out the chant, okay, that's supposed to be chanted, so we can send this energy wave towards the parasites on this earth to vanquish the parasites, so the sun and the second sun can continue to heat up, and so, you know, earthquakes can continue to manifest. But see, these earthquakes are going to be hitting in areas that are not so common for earthquakes, okay? Because the beast system has HARP set up and drops underwater bombs to target indigenous populations for their artificial earthquakes. No. No, I'm going to show you how to tap into our ancestors surrounding the Sirius star and how to tap into the powers of inner earth, okay? The true powers of the underworld, the true powers of Osiris Asar, okay? The deity that came back here to save human souls and died and was resurrected. That was Asar and Isis, okay? Isis was the original moon goddess and is now the deity that rules over the Sirius star, Isis. You see? That's why this fucking beast Khazar named his mercenary group ISIS. You see? Trying to give that a bad name. So, the first video I did on voodoo got over 360,000 views. Okay? That was 3 years ago. And I'm going to drop another one. Okay? Real soon. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. All right? I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. And I'm trying to think if I forgot to say anything, if I got to touch on anything. But basically, we need to, I'm going to tell you the chant to direct your energy towards that disgusting insectoid beast that calls herself a queen in Britain. Direct your energy towards not real. Oops, I meant Israel. Direct your energies towards the free Masonic politicians in the Americas on this land. Okay? That's where your energy needs to be directed towards, because those are the individuals that are going to be feeling the full wrath of nature, that are going to be feeling the full wrath of the cosmos. And there's nothing that their bullshit technology can do about it. I promise you that. One motherfucking solar flare and this whole goddamn energy grid on half of this earth is gone. Okay? All their little numbers and all their little, their little chronological orders and their little fucking, energy grids, that are operating on a radio frequency. That's all caveman bullshit. They think they have technology. They haven't seen nothing yet. They don't understand. They don't fully understand orgone energy and the true essence of the electromagnetic energy that comes from the galactic pole, the galactic whole. Okay? They don't understand that. They don't understand dark matter energy. They can't do anything about it. Just ask Toussaint Louverture, who defeated 3 colonizers' armies just by practicing this right here. Okay? This is what I'm bringing back. This is what I'm bringing back to the chosen people of the earth. You can either get with it or get lost. Okay? It's the serpent versus that goddamn vampire beast, Father Time. And you're either with Gaia and nature, you're either with nature and the cosmos, or you're against it. Plain and simple. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One Man. I'm out.